What's up, guys? Clearly, I'm looking a little bit rough this morning. I'm in the middle of getting ready and it is quite early, but that is beside the point. The point I want to bring up right now is that it is time for me to do my eyebrows, and this is a task that I have been dreading lately because my eyebrows have been looking rough. It's probably gonna be really hard for you guys to tell, but there's just so many like hairs that are growing in here, and I'm very much so a tweezer gal. Like, I get my eyebrows professionally done maybe twice a year. I just don't like people touching them. People, I don't know what it is, and I'm not sure what you mean, but they always screw it up. Like, I have had my eyebrow waxed off, like starting here, multiple times. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know who thinks that looks good, if it's an accident. They never tell me it's an accident, and it's just upsetting. So, when I put my little trip to New York on the calendar, because yes, I go home in just a couple of weeks, I decided I am finally getting my eyebrows done because I have this one lady who I go to back home. No one does them the same. And I'll be honest, I haven't really branched out that much, but she does the threading and she shapes them so nicely and it is amazing. But yeah, my point being, doing my eyebrows, like, I hate filling them in when they're just unruly because I'm like, where am I even like filling? So that is the big task this morning. Okay, so this is the eyebrow I filled in and this is the one not filled in. Is there a difference? Yeah, this is definitely one of those mornings where I remind myself that eyebrows are sisters, not twins, and in this case, they are looking like distant cousins. It is so hard for me, though, to do my makeup and talk to you guys, because I'll show you the setup. This is my really expensive setup over here. We are balancing on an upside down box of facial tissues with a book with my very dirty makeup organizer. Guys, I've tried to clean this thing. The stains, they're just not coming out. I'm sorry. And then this is the lighting that we use. And keep in mind, when I put my camera here, like this, the camera goes up to there, I have like a little peek hole in order to see my face to do my makeup. So it's not easy, but I am running behind. So I need to, let's do a little transformation in 3, 2, 1, which technically is this the finished product. My hair has to drop. That's the one thing about curling it with a skinny curling iron. It is so much easier than the one I used to use, is like probably double the size barrel wise. It's great because it gets you that like voluminous look, but I feel like I have to curl each piece like twice because it's so big. It's just not ideal. So I've been using this skinny one, which takes me like 6 minutes, and then I just need to play around with this and let all the curls. Yeah, it's way too curly. This, what am I? Ugh. Also, a lot of people comment on my videos saying, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for Zack who's sleeping while you're just screaming away, which, yes, I can be a little bit loud in here, but we have it set up in our bedroom so that it is pretty soundproof. I mean, not entirely soundproof, but we have our own little noisemaker, which is a humidifier, and when you're in the bedroom, you can't hear what's going on outside. Don't worry, I never wake Zack up. He's fast asleep. Also, can I just say, so many people have commented on my videos about the noise complaint. You guys know we have a neighbor who's been complaining that we're making too much noise. Specifically, we've talked to her, Zack had a meeting with her, complaining about our movements, like our steps and that type of thing on the floorboards. She lives below us. I cannot even count the amount of comments I've gotten saying, oh my gosh, Clancy's talking way too loud. Of course she's getting noise complaints. She needs to lower her voice. Guys, I don't know if you know how apartments work. No one is hearing my voice. I mean, maybe people could live in apartments that are super thin and you could hear their voices, but that's not how it is at our apartment. I promise you, our downstairs neighbor is not complaining about my voice. We could yell and she wouldn't hear it. It's not my voice, it's our footsteps. Anyway, I just have to say that. Now it's time to go talk about pets.
Well, as the world slowly starts to reopen, a lot of people are going back to their offices, and that can be tough on their pets.
Local 12's Clancy Burke is at Montgomery Animal Hospital with tips on spotting separation anxiety and what to do about it. Hello, Clancy.
Hey, Bob. Well, the first step in easing separation anxiety is knowing how to spot it. With animals, though, it's not easy. I mean, they can't verbally tell you they're feeling anxious, but they do find other ways to communicate. Right now, I want to put on your screen a list of signs that your pet might be dealing with separation anxiety. Some morning, guys, words are hard. Some morning, guys, I just totally messed up a tease where if you weren't truly listening to my words, it all sounds normal, but what I said does not make sense. Roll the tape. And more people are headed back to the office, and that can cause anxiety in our pets. Coming up on Local 12, I'll have tips on easing the change. Easing the change. That's not English. I meant to say easing the anxiety, and then another tease I had was guiding them through the change, and I combined the two. And anyone who is paying attention probably thinks I don't understand the English language, but that's okay. This is where we are set up for the morning outside an animal hospital, which is in this little strip mall parking lot. Not a strip mall, but you know when you have just multiple stores. And I hate this time of the morning because it's when people actually start coming here, and I don't know. They're always wondering like, why the heck is the news here? Normally when the news is in places, it's for like a bad situation, and I feel like I make people nervous and everyone's looking at us, and I'm just not a fan. I am like the biggest, what is it? It's like an oxymoron. I know it doesn't make sense where I have this YouTube channel, I'm a TV news reporter, and yet I like to just blend into the walls of a room. Like, I'm not the type of person who likes attention. It's just not something I like. It just so happens that I like talking and being on camera and expressing myself that way and the whole creative process, but I just don't like any form of attention. All right, it's time to quiz Zack to see how good of a boyfriend he is.
Oh yeah.
What was my story this morning?
I know what you're about to go do.
No, what? Were you a viewer this morning? Did you wake up and want to see my face?
I woke up and I got to see your face. You were here.
On TV.
I saw you in my dreams.
Oh yeah? People wonder how relationships progress. You know, you hit the 6-month mark, things are great. The year mark, things are fantastic. He's waking up, he's watching me on TV. He always used to watch, and now he's just not a viewer. He doesn't even care.
What I usually do is at some point in the morning turn the TV on and go back and watch. I haven't done that yet. So, you're asking too soon.
He doesn't love me.
Talking to each other, I know we feel the same about the situation, like we're stuck inside a game. Time to get out of this circle, yeah, we both carry a scar. Let's rewrite the part we're playing, time to cherish who we are. The only thing I ever wanted starts with
Look at how doomy and gloomy our apartment looks when it rains. I feel like I can't even see my hand in front of me. Like, Zack, is that you? I can't even see you. It's so dark in here and I hate it. Once again, Zack's workspace. I was about to compare, like, because I feel like yours is kind of a hot mess a lot of the time. You're just not exactly the neatest worker. But then look over here. Mine isn't too much better. I feel like I've got just like 500 things, and just all of this stresses me out. I know it's not even that messy, but like my backpack sitting there, all of this angers me in ways that I cannot even communicate. But yes, we are coworkers for just a couple more weeks. I mean, we're always gonna be coworkers, but we're like right next to each other.
We'll be on different floors.
Zack and I were saying the other day that we would like never be friends in school if we met in school, because we were just the opposite types of people. He was the type of person who didn't come prepared for a test. He didn't study. He didn't know any of the answers, so he'd be looking off my paper. And then Zack told him the type of person that you think I am.
Well, first off, no, I didn't always cheat on tests.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I know your type.
So Clancy's incredibly wrong.
You did.
I'm smarter than Clancy, so I wouldn't
No,
need
you're
to
not.
cheat off
No,
Clancy.
for the record, we took an IQ test. You're better at math. I'm better at English.
Yeah. But with that being said, there are occasionally times when I was in my advanced math classes, I did have to cheat because it was just a little bit out of my league, especially my senior year, because I was in advanced math my whole life, and then in sophomore, junior year, I was in just the grade above me math class and not advanced math. The teacher convinced me to take the advanced my senior year, and it would have required much more studying than I was willing to put in back in high school days. But Clancy is the type, and everyone knows this type, person while taking a test that huddles over, and they're like doing it, and they're like taking their little test, and then they look around, and like you make eye contact with them, they're like a little rat. Trying to like, don't look at my test. So she just huddles over like a little freak.
No, not like a little freak, but I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it would make me angry if I spent all this time studying and you're just gonna take all my answers.
Which I can understand, that would be frustrating.
Like, it actually
like,
makes
I'm
me
sure
mad.
at some points, like I know people have cheated off me before, but I just didn't care.
No one would ever cheat off you. You don't even have the answers. But for the record, I was not the kind of person who like went like that, but I certainly was like, Meanwhile, by the way, Zack was the type of person during those tests, if he says I was like this, well, he was just like this. What a little loser, what a little freak.
I think we've all been out there. You've either had to cheat on a test or you let someone cheat off your homework or whatever it is. My philosophy is, hey, I'm never going to use half that stuff anyways. Help a friend out. Clancy's, Obviously, not the caring, giving, helpful type, but you know, if you need anything YouTube, you can come to me.
Bye. All right, so now we are going to pivot. We're going to go from all of that lighthearted talk about cheating to something that is actually really important to me and my family, and hopefully it can help some of you guys out there who are dealing with this as well. I feel like with these types of issues, it's something a lot of people don't even realize exists, but those who are living it can feel extremely alone and isolated. And by the way, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about my mom. My mom was diagnosed with lupus quite a few years ago. I mean, I was still in college, and FYI, if this sounds familiar to you, I have talked about this on my YouTube channel once before, and it's because I think I might have this as well. Not diagnosed, I've never been to the rheumatologist before, but based on some things that I'll describe in a second, I think this is something that I might have to eventually deal with in the future, just like my mom has. But a little backstory for those of you guys who have no idea what lupus is, as I didn't. I had no idea what this was. It's basically an autoimmune disease where your immune system attacks your healthy tissue. And if that sounds painful, it is. I mean, that I feel like is the hallmark side effect of lupus that you have to deal with, just being in pain pretty much just 24/7. And people have different experiences with lupus. People have different side effects, of course, as with every disease. You're gonna have slightly different experiences. For my mom's, that's the only one I can really speak about. She's the only one I know who has it. Yeah, I mean, she's just in pain pretty much every second of her day. She also, though, has other autoimmune diseases which would contribute to it. She has multiple connective tissue disease, and then she also has rheumatoid arthritis. It's not an easy disease to live with, and that's how it is for so many diseases. And it's just one of those things where you take for granted so much unless it happens to you. And you guys remember, it was last summer that I started experiencing, every time I was out in the sun, I would be in a lot of body pain. And my body does ache a lot. However, I think a lot of it has to do with working out, but I did notice when I'd go out in the sun, I'd be in pain. I don't know if there's a correlation. Like I said, I haven't gone to the doctor, but one of the things with lupus is if you go out in the sun, that will cause flare-ups. One of the effects is you get this like butterfly rash. And my mom, by the way, used to live in the sun. Like, I've never seen someone who is almost 100% Irish so dark. She was so dark. And then she was diagnosed with lupus, and she can't go in the sun anymore, which is crazy, right? Like, you can't be in the sun. And she'll walk in the sun. It's not like she needs an umbrella, but she can't sit out by the pool. She can't sit out at the beach. She just has to be 100% covered at all times. And the reason I'm suddenly talking about this is because May is Lupus Awareness Month. And my mom has actually been asking me to talk about this on my YouTube channel, just raising awareness. Because like I said, it's one of those things people don't realize exists unless it happens to you. And ultimately, the goal is for there to be a cure. And actually, my mom, this is not planned, but I'm gonna call my mom and see if she has anything to say about it. Because I feel like it's one of those things that you don't know unless you live with, which is what I'm definitely mentally preparing myself for in the future. Yeah, so let's just give her a ring. If she's not at a doctor's appointment, she goes to the doctor 4 times a week.
Hi, this is Kathy Burke, unable to...
Hello?
Hey, Clancy.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Did you call?
Yeah, where were you?
I was walking my friend.
Walter. I was calling because I was going to talk about lupus for May month, or Lupus Awareness Month. May month, but I don't know everything, so I want to know if you wanted to give any insight.
Sure. Well, first of all, when you tell people you have lupus, they always look confused, like people don't quite know what lupus is. But the one thing that people are also surprised of, and you just don't want to feel like you're a hypochondriac and say, oh, and guess what else is wrong with me, is everybody seems to get the same overlapping diseases. Rheumatoid arthritis is very common. And of course, I have the thyroid disease. When it's caused by autoimmune, it's called Hashimoto's. And when you are lucky enough to have all of these things, they say you have mixed connective tissue disease because you kind of have a little bit of each of those diseases. The strange thing, like as you know, and you're out and about with me, I look normal, or I'd like to think I look normal. I would be the type, my doctor insisted on a handicap parking thing. I would never take that, and I look normal. The biggest thing is that people figure out how the disease works for them. And I let myself do things, and I like to be active, but then can you remember what I love more than anything in my house?
Your recliner chair?
My recliner, which you call my throne.
Oh, your throne.
Because it seems to take, it just helps with gravity. It takes all of the pain away, because all of my pain is in my joints and my tendons. I've had fractures and all, and I've had pulls and little tears in the tendons. So I just you learn to manage it. And the best thing for people to do is to find the best doctors, where I'm lucky in New York there's so many specialists, but when I'm on Facebook groups, I can see in other parts of the country, it can take people a year to get an appointment with a rheumatologist. It's something that does seem to run in families. It hasn't been prevalent in ours, but, you have a cousin that happens to have the same 3 diseases I have, the lupus, the rheumatoid arthritis, and the thyroid.
Oh yeah, and that's crazy because she was a long lost cousin. Like, not long lost, but
Yeah.
we didn't grow up with her. You found her through, that's crazy. You found her through myancestry.com.
Yeah.
My mom found out that her brother, should I say that? I shouldn't say that.
I think he does not mind, and
Okay.
I also think that Beth doesn't mind in any way, and what a happy find that was.
Her brother had a child and never knew it. The person never told him, his girlfriend at the time. And my mom found her so many years later and they ended up connecting, and she ended up meeting the family, right?
Of course. She met many people in the family, and we'd like to see her again. And I'm so into signs, and she was waiting for that phone call from us, and a truck pulled up in front of her house that said Clancy's Electric.
Our last name is Clancy, in case you're wondering. You make it sound like it's all about me. Their maiden name is Clancy. So my mom's maiden name is Clancy, her brother's maiden name is Clancy. But yeah, no, so the everyday living with lupus, I was kind of just explaining, I feel like the biggest symptom is just being in pain in your joints.
Yes, other people have symptoms that I don't have. A big one is hair loss.
Oh.
One of the first signs, if you remember what was happening to me, was, and it's this area called the butterfly rash that goes over your nose and on your cheeks, which is just where I get that redness and swelling. And that's why the butterfly is a symbol of lupus, because it's the most common, one of the first signs. As the daughter of someone with it, it's just something you should always be aware of and get blood work if you ever have symptoms.
But I feel because I know the medicine you take has a lot of side effects and doesn't make you feel great. I feel as long as I'm feeling okay, I would opt not to take any medicine if I'm feeling okay.
If you're feeling okay. Yes.
That's why I'm not.
It keeps you from getting further damage, and that's why someone like a child of a person with it, I think, should stay on top of it.
Yeah.
Because it could affect every organ in your body, and that's why I constantly have to have my heart checked, my brain. I've had issues, and we just stay on top of it all.
No, thanks for the insight. I think this will be informative and hopefully finding a cure.
I am happy to, if any way you can raise awareness, I would be happy and proud.
All right, I better continue my video.
Okay, and I'm going to head to the grocery store.
Stop and Shop.
Stop and Shop, yes.
Wow. So many things to share. We had a shooting at our local grocery store a month ago. And my mom almost went.
On that day, yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Then I called you and you didn't go?
I know, thank goodness. Which is, you tend to do that whenever I'm heading out to the store. Are you trying to make me lose weight?
Why? Oh,
Letting me shop?
you're not allowed to shop for food.
Yes, no food for you, fatty.
No. So yeah, as you can tell, my mom really wanted me to talk about it. And I feel bad because this is so long overdue. She asked me to talk about this so long ago. My mom didn't ask me. It's not like she's making me do this. She was just like, oh, it'd mean a lot if you could try to raise awareness, just because this is something she has been living with for so long. And I see how hard it is and just how much it has changed her life. But also on the flip side, I think whenever you go through something like this, it just shows you how strong you really are. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know this, but guys, this right here is the lunch that has just been doing it for me lately. First up, we've got a can of tuna. This is the Star-Kissed Solid White Albacore Tuna. And really, I don't think it tastes amazing. I just think it's a can of protein. It tastes fine and it's easy. AKA, I don't have to cook chicken, which is always nice. Next up, we've got some avocado toast, but not only just avocado toast. Zack discovered this bread that tastes, oh my gosh, so good. So I toast it up, put some avocado on it. Then we've got some grapes on the side. And yeah, like I said, this does it for me. Well, another morning, another opportunity to embarrass myself on TV.
FC Cincinnati must be itching to break in that brand new stadium. TQL Stadium hosts a home opener this Sunday.
Local 12's Clancy Burke is there this morning showing us what fans can expect. Hi, Clancy.
All I can say, Sheila, is finally, fans are allowed in the stands, and finally, FC Cincinnati is playing at home, and finally, they're not just playing at any old stadium. No, take a look at the brand new TQL Stadium. I've got to say, it is stunning. And when I came here, I was immediately drawn to the field. I want to be on that field. Unfortunately, though, fans are not allowed on, and that is why I only have one option. I've got to, oh, that really did not go well. I've got to become a player is what I'm trying to say. And really, FC Cincinnati is all about having a little bit of fun.
And then we are just moving along. We are going from previewing Major League Soccer to a tattoo convention. That is my next live shot of the morning. I did the early morning live shots from 5 to 7:45. Then I have a 9 o'clock live shot at the Duke Energy Convention Center, which I'm outside right now, at a tattoo convention. I'll be honest, I know nothing about tattoos, so I really don't know what to expect, but we shall see.